We'll gather around, feel the love come down. Blue elephant is strong, together we belong. In every comment.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So Let's Resin recently sent me a new mold to try out. Well, it's new to me. I'm pretty sure it was around last Halloween, but again, new to me. So this is their little Witch's Cauldron storage box mold, and I am super excited to try it out. I think it's really cute, and we're gonna have some fun with this today. So first things first, what I decided to do is, instead of, I had thought about doing maybe glow powders for the top, but instead of doing that, I want to play around with some more of the colors from the new chrome set that they recently put out. So we are going with this really pretty green, and then we're going to add a dash of purple to this and just kind of do a combination and let it blend in together just to get some different effects. You know, we're making a witch's potion, and it's not necessarily going to be pretty, so there's eyeballs and frogs legs and whatever in it. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily going to be pretty, but that's what I want to do for the top. So I went through and dusted it all really well. Now there is a little spot in the lid that is like the stirring stick deal. So I did clean that out with some alcohol because I don't want that the same color. I want that to be black because that is what we are going to back this with. Now, on the inside, there are two skulls and there are two pentagrams. So I'm using the red chrome powder. Now, this is from their original chrome set. And that's what I'm going to highlight it with after I clean up the huge mess that I made, because I didn't realize that I had mica powder all over my hands when I was doing this. Okay, so you can clearly see that I had dusted the pentagrams. I didn't show that to you because I changed my mind at the end and I decided that I wasn't going to do that. So I am going to wipe both of those off. Of course, I waited till I spent like 20 minutes cleaning the one up to change my mind, but it's fine. It'll be fine. But I did go in and dust the skulls with the red because I thought that up against the black background that we're going to put in it, it's really going to pop, right? Quick little bit of alcohol and on a baby wipe, and I'm just going to clean off the red on the pentagrams, wipe off the rest of any excess mica that may still be on there, flip it inside out. And then what I'm going to do is I have mixed up my Let's Resin epoxy resin, quite a bit, because I have two different projects going on. Using my Resiners dual mixing machine, I am going in with some eye candy black pigment paste, and we are going to make this baby black. Now, hindsight, I didn't quite mix up enough resin. What I mixed up more than what I needed, and I had something else going on too, and I had poured that off to the side. So when I did this, I thought I did the math correctly and that I was going to have enough to fill both the lid and the cauldron itself. Not quite enough, but I mean, it's fine. It'll be fine. But we're just going to go in and we're going to fill the lid. I did squeeze the little handle part really well, just to make sure that there's no air bubbles trapped in it. Now, as far as the cauldron itself, I filled it up a little bit. I do this with all of my kind of pots that are like this, because I fill it up and then I squeeze around the bottom half, and that's just to kind of get that resin all over the place. If there's any air bubbles, it's going to push them out. I also wanted to make sure that I got up high enough into where the skulls are so that when the resin goes in there, it's already kind of got a coating on it, and hopefully I won't get any air pockets trapped in that. We'll have to wait and see. Now you can see I'm out of my black resin, so what I decided to do was I don't have that much more, literally like maybe an ounce ish that I need to add into this. And I do have some clear. Again, this is for something else that I've got going on that I just mixed it all up together. I'm just going to pour it in clear. Now, I realize that it is going to make the bottom of the mold, it's going to have that little bit of clear on it, right? In my head at the time, like where I did kind of try and pull it towards the middle some just to kind of get it to close up. I figured that as it cured, it would be fine and it would just pull towards the middle and I wouldn't see it. Well, here you see 24 hours later and it didn't do much moving, which is really odd, but okay. So now it's time to demold. Now the lid, super, super easy to demold. No issues there whatsoever, except for the fact that I'm going really, really slow. All right, let's see how this turned out. Okay, so I'm liking it. We're gonna do a little something something to it just to kind of add to it a little bit. Now this did take me a little bit longer to do, but once I sprayed some alcohol in there just to break that suction all the way around the mold, I had no issues. I was able to just kind of get it down over one side and then break the suction in the middle, and no problems whatsoever, demolds perfectly, and here we are. So, just kind of drying off the little bit of excess alcohol on there. So this is what we're looking like now. Now, all together, like it looks cute. I like the way that the green purple kind of pop off. I love how the skulls pop out of there. Now you may be wondering why I didn't match the top to the bottom. Potions aren't necessarily going to match, right? Like it's not going to be the same. So I wanted to make sure that it was kind of different so that you could tell that it was something different going on in there. Now, I do have some kind of weird white stuff on the very top of that. I'm not sure if it came from something that was on my mat when I flipped it upside down to trim off all of just the rough edges. I don't know. I've got to see if I can get it off. Okay, so what I decided to do is I want to make these skeleton heads pop just a little bit more. So I got out my red rhinestones, got out my liquid fusion. I'm just kind of matching the size of the rhinestone in there. I thought a couple of red sparkly eyes would just set these guys off just a little bit more, make them a little bit more ominous looking, and just, why not? Why not? It's just going to add to it, but just a little bit, right? Not overwhelming, not too much, but just enough to give it that extra little something something. So I'm going to do both eyes real quick, and then I decided that for the handle of the mixer that I'm going to add a few black rhinestones in there as well, just on the top, nothing too crazy, just a little bit. And then we're going to decide what we want to do with the pentagrams to kind of highlight them and make them pop against this black background too. Now, the one thing that I did note is that along the bottom of the pot, the cauldron, there are some air bubbles that I got. So I should have paid a little bit more attention after I let it set to cure and made sure that no air bubbles were getting trapped there. I mean, it's not like crazy horrible, but there are some, which is unfortunate and doesn't make me very happy. But it is what it is. I mean, it happens on a lot of these type of molds. It's just something that sometimes you can't help because of the way that it goes up. Those air bubbles get trapped there as they're rising to the surface, and they don't find their way all the way to the very top of the mold. Okay, back to what I'm doing. Just adding a few rhinestones. Now, these are the straight black ones. They're not the ones that kind of give off that iridescent of like different colors. You know what I'm talking about? These are just straight kind of plain black. Just a little, She's a sparkle loving witch, so we've got to add it in there. But I'm going in with different sizes because the way that it's formed, you can't really put just one size on there. But I thought it looks cute. All right, so now for the pentagram. I, I think what I want to do is I want to get just a little bit of UV resin, and we're gonna add some kind of fuchsia glitter in two different sizes. We're going extra fine, and then I've got these small chunky ones that have an iridescence to them, which I thought would look really nice because then we can get a little bit extra color added into there, and just a little bit extra bling and all of that. So the fine glitter is going to fill most of the voids, and then we'll have a little bit of the bigger ones to just kind of spread out there, because if it was just bigger, I don't know if I'd be able to get it all in there and look right, because I'm not adding any extra color to the resin itself. It's just going to be clear. So this way I know it's going to be packed full, and it should, in theory, all be covered. So I'm just going to take my scribe and prop this bowl up on its side on just the lid of the mold. I did it on the other one and it was too high. I couldn't see over it. So I decided that we'll do it on the lid just to kind of keep it still so that I don't have to worry about it falling over anytime I may have to move my hands. Now, it is slightly tricky because it doesn't sit completely flat, and because we're working on a curved surface, you want to make sure that you're not putting too much resin on there, because what's going to happen is it's going to run outside of the little embossed area, and we don't want that, because we don't want it to go where it's not supposed to be, right? And once it starts traveling, then that's it. It's just going to keep traveling. So being very careful, just kind of adding a drip at a time, moving it around, spreading it out into all of those areas. And then I'm going to take a Q-tip and just clean off anywhere that it may have started to like act like it's gonna get ready to run, like maybe it was too high or going over just a little bit, which was mainly only in the tips of the star is where I had the issues. So clean that off, hit it with my UV flashlight real quick, and then I'm gonna put it under my cordless Let's Resin UV light for like 3 minutes just to make sure that it's totally cured. And then we're going to do the backside, same thing. At this point, I'm going to pop off. I'll be back when we're done with the other side and ready to move on.
Black as night, that cauldron gleam. Ooh, yeah. Red skulls grinning, haunting dream. Whoa, focus your pentagram, glowing bright. Purple spider crawling. What a fright! Sparkle, shimmer, potion flow. What's cooking in there? I gotta know. Bubble, funky trouble. Say what? Potion pops and doubles. Ooh-wee. Spin that groove. Don't break the groove. Come on. Witches, cauldrons got the moves. Steam's rising.
Okay, I'm back. So this side is done. We just got to get it under the UV light to cure. And then I had some left over, and instead of wasting it, I thought, well, why not add it to the lower section of these bubbles where the potion is boiling? And it's just going to add a little bit extra to it, I think. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just kind of going in between the big bubbles. Like I said, all the kind of lower areas and in between the bubbles, around the edge, just a little bit, just to add a little bit extra interest to this. And why not? Right? Why not? Then we're going to pop this under the light for a couple of minutes and let this cure. As it cures, what I decided to do is, a while ago, I did a unboxing Happy Mail that Pam had sent me, and she sent me these little glitter spider clip-on dealies. Well, I thought, the color is kind of perfect for the color that I've got going on. So we're going to add this to it, something kind of cute, right? So I just took off the metal piece, clipped down the plastic part that was on there a little bit so it's not so high off of the actual cauldron itself. Gonna get out my E6000 glue, put a bunch of the glue on it, glue the spider to it, and then I'm just gonna take some painter's tape and hold it in place until it dries. And then honestly, guys, that's it. That is a wrap on this one. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I will see you on Thursday in the next one. Love ya. Bye.
Together we belong. In every comment, right? You lift me to new heights. Your support, it's clear, gives me reason to cheer. Blue Elephant Crew, this one's all for you. You make dreams come true with everything you do. Each subscriber's heart playing a vital part. Videos we share, showing how much we care. Likes and shares, they grow. You make the channel glow. Every single view, I owe it all to you. Blue Elephant Crew, this one's all for you. You make dreams come true with everything you do. Each subscriber's heart playing